how are you gonna buy a cookie and not ice cream? You're kicked out of the video.
Can't kick me out. Barks Diet Root Beer.
It's Bargs.
It's Barks.
That's a G.
That is a Q, ma'am.
That is a G. What's up, guys? We are gonna get started with our Q&A here. I asked you guys on Snapchat for some questions for our Q&A, and I was like, let's talk about business, fashion, relationships. Don't be afraid to get a little TMI, which some of you definitely did. How long did you wait to get it on with Ryan? No, that is TMI, like actually, or is it? So I've gotten a few questions about what city I would like to live in after New York. We would either go to LA, just because that's probably where we travel the most outside of like home, or I would just probably move back to Texas, probably like Austin.
Austin sounds fun. LA would be fun too. Okay,
question. Where did you and Ryan go on your first date, and what is your most awful date story? Where do you go on our first date?
Papacitos.
Papacitos. What would you say your worst date story is with us? I think I know mine. Probably the first time I farted in front of you.
It's hard to call it a date, but yeah.
They always say it's all about the first kiss, but I think it's all about the first fart.
It was one of those moments where you hear it and you're like, did that really just happen?
Ryan was driving, I was in the passenger seat. We were getting pulled over. I was super nervous because Ryan was driving my car and I didn't know how that worked. Like, am I gonna get in trouble because he's driving my car and he's getting pulled over? So I was looking for the insurance, like frantically. The cop was like coming to the window and I just like got nervous and farted.
I didn't know how to feel about this.
How did you know your other half was the one, and when was that moment? When Ryan and I first met, I had already planned to move to New York with a few of my girlfriends, and I was so scared to tell him. We just started dating. I moved anyways, and he was totally okay with that. He said, go do your thing. We'd been dating for what, like 2 months?
It was like 3 months.
3 months, and I moved to New York. We did a long distance relationship, and he was so supportive throughout the whole entire thing. I've never met someone so secure with themselves and in a relationship. He is so selfless, you know, not being upset that I moved without him, constantly like calling me, texting me, like he let me live my dream for a while, do what I wanted to do, and was totally okay and secure with it. And that's just the kind of person you want to be with. It doesn't get much better than that. Have you and Ryan ever been close to giving up on each other or breaking up? No.
There's times when I definitely want to walk out of the room.
How many relationships have you already had? I've had one long-term relationship prior to Ryan. And then he and I broke up. I wanted just to be single for a while and just kind of figure myself out and do my own thing. But then I met Ryan and I tried to stay away because I just wanted to be single because I had just gotten out of this relationship. But I kept just gravitating towards him and couldn't stay away, so that's sad.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. What's your relationship, I almost said relationship. What's your relationship secret to having a healthy one after 5 years and not getting bored of each other? I know we've talked about this before, but the key is just communication and honesty.
You gotta be besties.
Yeah, you gotta be besties.
You gotta like the same TV shows.
That's so important, because if you didn't like Dexter or like...
Dexter is how we bonded.
The Walking Dead?
That was our first night. There's some exceptions though, like PLO.
Come on, Pretty Little Liars, like... Well, you know what? You don't have to worry about it because it's coming to an end. The end of an era.
Did you say error?
Yeah, era.
There you go.
The end of an Ezra.
Alright, little play on words there.
How do you not get bored with each other? I think, like you said, it comes down to just like being with your best friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when I think of going to do something, I always think like I'd rather do it with her than almost anybody else.
Yeah.
Even if it's just going to another part of the city and experience that with someone who's your bestie.
There are times that we're here working, just like he and I, and we don't say 2 words to each other for a few hours because we're both working. So it's not like we're constantly...
That's true.
Chit-chatting. We had to move positions because the lighting is, we losing light. Where is our favorite dinner spot in the Midtown area? Let's say our favorite spot on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Home. We don't eat out a lot, so my favorite spot is home.
We've eaten at a couple, not more than a couple, but a place nearby us.
Bea? B?
Yeah, B-E-A, B.
B-A?
Yeah. 44 next.
44 next, 44 and a half. If we go out and eat, we usually like go towards West Village area or Tribeca or something like that. What special things do you do when you feel stressed, frustrated, or overwhelmed? Definitely like having a conversation with Ryan really helps me. Like we'll go for a walk or we'll just sit on the couch and just talk it out, and usually it's not that big of a deal once you get down to it and have someone to talk to about it.
And if you don't have anybody to have a conversation with, you can, this is weird, but you can talk to yourself about it. You can think to yourself, why am I upset right now? Identify, make a list of what you're really upset about, and then ask the question, is this really a big deal?
That's such a good advice. That I totally agree with you. Okay, have you ever dealt with insecurity or trust issues in your relationship with Ryan? Never. Like I said before, he's like the most secure person with himself and in this relationship. I've never dealt with any trust or insecurity issues with him. Honestly, I did in my last relationship, and I look back on it and I'm thinking to myself, like, why did I put up with that for so long? Not trusting the person that you're with and just kind of feeling insecure, like things are going on. Like, why did I do that for so long? And now I know what it's like to be with someone who is such an honest person. So no, I never ever have ever felt any type of feeling of that nature.
Love her.
You and Ryan want kids. Yes, we want kids one day. Right, have you finally told the story about your contract with Ryan? You mentioned it once that you're not married, but you have a contract and there's a story behind it. Okay, so Ryan and I are domestic partners.
We're legal domestic partners.
We went to the courthouse. We are legal domestic partners. We did this because, number one, since we lived so far away from family, if something were to happen to either one of us and we were in the hospital, we could make decisions for each other because legally we're considered family from being domestic partners.
The other reason is because I own my own business, and that makes insurance, health insurance, very, very expensive. Ashley worked for a huge company that has health benefits, and your legal domestic partner can get access to those benefits as well for incredibly cheap.
He and I get insurance for like $120 a month versus if he were by himself, he'd be paying like
$500.
$500. So all in all, that worked out.
Definitely makes sense.
Was it hard moving in together? How do you deal with arguments? Is one of you quiet and the other one likes to talk it out? If so, how does that work? Moving in together wasn't hard at all. We honestly were like inseparable from the time that we like first started dating. So he moved in pretty quickly and it just felt normal. I think there's not a specific date. Like, I don't think you should wait a certain amount of time. I think it's just all about how you're feeling. Like, if you feel like you're ready, then just go for it. Deal with arguments. For the most part, like to talk it out. We might just kind of separate in the apartment for a little bit and cool down if we have an argument, but then we always end up coming back together after a few minutes to just really like squash it, talk it out.
Also, what helps is changing the atmosphere of the situation. So joking around.
All right, it's getting a little dark, so we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Goodbye for now. All right, guys, let's finish up this Q&A. I just rode my bike through a terrible rainstorm, so I'm really trying to have a good attitude right now. What the most challenging thing that we've had to deal with while living together is?
In the beginning, when you don't know someone else's habits.
Yeah, I think it's always the first few months are like always the most awkward because you're really trying to like know each other's habits and fix things and adjust to things. So I think that's probably like, just in general, the most like awkward part of living together. Is rent expensive in NYC, and how do you manage to do so much in so little time? Yes, rent is pretty expensive in NYC compared to most places.
New York is the second most expensive city to live in.
Is it really?
Yes, in the US, not in the world. And the reason being is because it's such a small island and there's so many people here. I think there's like 8 or 9 million people that are here. So space.
On this tiny little island.
Yeah, space is a premium, so that's why they can charge more.
The second, how do you manage to do so much in so little time?
Well,
I just spend all of my time, you know, I was working towards this goal of being able to do this full time, and I spent all of my time on it, and I worked really hard. So now that I have achieved this goal and I am leaving my job and doing YouTube full time, it's just gonna be about managing my time properly.
It's impressive to be able to put out 3 videos a week consistently for 3 or 4 months straight. It's a full-time job.
Do you have any siblings? question number 1. Yes, I do. I have 2 twin sisters that are 12, and I have a 23-year-old brother.
Shout out Kylie Camry.
What's up, guys? You and Ryan plan on staying in NYC long term. We haven't really discussed that far in the future. We're here for now, and
for the time being.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one last question. It's starting to get dark because of the storm. It's raining so hard. What does your typical free day look like? And more what I eat in a day videos. I will definitely do more what I eat in a day because that was so much fun. Typical free day would be probably us just like going to the park, hanging out, going to a coffee shop. I'm sitting here acting like it's not 40 degrees outside. Emails in the morning, make sure there's nothing that needs to be immediately responded to, and then just like relaxing all day. Staying in our comfortable, like sweatpants, comfy clothes, watching Netflix, watching movies, hanging out, maybe talking a little bit about like content for the YouTube channel, stuff like that.
Wake up, coffee, gym, relax, content, emails, eat, she makes breakfast, and shows.
Shows, TV, always TV.
And a movie every now and then.
Yeah.
What's a good movie to see?
Yeah, let us know.
What is
movie recommendations.
What's in theaters recently? Tell us. What should we go see?
I kind of got stuck with crappy weather both days that I was filming, and it's so dark in here right now, so I definitely want to finish this Q&A. I've got so many more questions, so many good questions, so we'll finish this in next week's vlog. It'll be Q&A part 2. It'll be mostly focused on fashion industry questions, all of that. I'm saving those for next Wednesday, and put questions below.
But also make it easier because next week is Q&A fashion edition. Snap her more fashion questions so it can all be in one place.
And if it's not fashion related, go ahead and ask it anyways. We'll make a miscellaneous section for.
Send it to me too.
Send it to Ryan too. What's your Snapchat?
Ryan Ridiculous.
We'll post it here with my stuff. Or here. Let's do it here.
I'm gonna put it like under your nose.
No.
Right here.
I love doing Q&As with you because then I feel like I'm not talking to myself. All right, next week, guys, we will see you in our next Q&A after Wednesday's vlog. Bye. What? I left them in the oven too long. What do you want me to do about it? You're welcome for your waffle.
I know I am. Why is tomorrow a big day?
Walking Dead.
Dramatic slow motion montage.